Thank you so much for this unexpected and very much appreciated award. I'd also like to start by acknowledging the traditional custodians of the land that we're on, the Muwinina people, and acknowledge elders past, present, and also any Indigenous people here today. In accepting this award, I'd like to acknowledge the many people who've helped me on my journey so far. I've had a lot of different important people help me through my triumphs and challenges. My family and friends, my teachers and mentors, and many, many others who have looked out for me. I think it's really important to recognise those who've helped you in life, and I'm sure all of you have people who've helped you get to where you are now, and many more who will help you in the future. I'd encourage you to think of them regularly, thank them in your own way, and learn from their example to support those around you. Many of you are probably wondering who I am exactly, and it occurred to me that while I did indeed graduate within the last 15 years, that means that when I left Hutchins, those of you in Year 12 now were only just about to start pre-kinder. So I'm really appreciating still being able to call myself a young alumnus with this award. I trained as a vet after leaving school, and ever since I've been lucky to work with a bunch of different animals in a lot of different wonderful places. I've worked with cows, sheep and camels in northern Victoria. I've worked with horses, peacocks, chinchillas and rabbits in England, and I've worked with dogs and cats in remote Indigenous communities in Arnhem Land. If you're not familiar with Arnhem Land, it's an area in the northeastern region of the Northern Territory, which is nearly 1.5 times the size of Tasmania. It's a breathtakingly diverse and beautiful place with sweeping floodplains and rocky escarpments stretching into the distance. It's also a place which few people get the chance to experience, except for those who call it home. The Yolngu, Binin and Maung people, among many other groups, practice their culture daily and keep it strong to pass on to the next generation. An important part of their culture is the significance of animals, and particularly dogs. Dogs are part of the creation or dreaming stories in many of the areas, and they're also important as hunting partners. They have spiritual kinship significance, and just like anywhere else in Australia, they're loved as companions. But unlike other parts of Australia, it's hard for local people to get the vet care that they need for their dogs. Think about how long it takes you to get your pets to the vet. Maybe 10 or 15 minutes, maybe half an hour, maybe even an hour or more if you live rurally. For some people in Arnhem Land, the closest vet is a 6-hour drive away, and that's when you can cross the river at low tide to get there. For other people, you need to take a boat or a plane, so you just can't get there. That's where we hope that we can help. We travel out and perform volunteer vet work in about 12 communities across the breadth of Arnhem Land each year. We look after sick and injured animals, we give out hundreds of free worming treatments, and we do hundreds of free desexing surgeries. This sort of stuff is important for several reasons. Animal welfare is important in its own right, but we can also see a much greater effect from our work when we think about the health of the people in these communities too. Dogs out in these remote communities usually don't live in yards. They roam around freely, and as a result, they do what dogs do. They look for food, they have lots of puppies, and they do their business where they please. And when some of the worms or other parasites that they carry can also infect people, that can cause big problems for the community. In some cases, infections with these worms can cause deaths in people. By looking after the dogs, keeping them healthy and free from parasites, we hope that this will help keep the community healthy too. That's the topic of my current research and my PhD, and something that we hope to keep working towards. This year's National Reconciliation Week, which is starting tomorrow, has a theme of more than a word, reconciliation takes action. This is what we'd like to be a part of. We hope to be a real part of closing the gap in life expectancy between Indigenous and non-Indigenous Australians. This sort of work can be hard, but it's also immensely rewarding. I get to learn from and work with incredibly talented and knowledgeable local people across Arnhem Land and the Torres Strait Islands. They've welcomed me to their communities, shared with me their culture, and given me the tools to explore my own Aboriginal culture more fully. I feel more confident in my own Palawa identity than ever before, which was something that I did sometimes struggle with growing up. I've had quite a twisty-turny career so far, and I still don't really know where it'll take me, but I certainly hope that I can continue to be part of Action for Change. We can all learn a lot from First Nations cultures all over the world, but an important first step is just to listen. What can you do to be a part of Action for Change in reconciliation and for the benefit of those around you? I certainly look forward to finding out. Thank you very much again for this lovely award, and congratulations to everybody else receiving awards today. Thank you.